Hey everybody, Suze here, back with another keto dinner idea video. Today we're doing a keto chicken recipe. This easy Cajun butter chicken breast recipe is perfect for throwing together a quick keto meal during the weeknight, and it is also family friendly, and you can easily make more or less of it depending on what you need for dinner. So, if you're new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free, and we would love to have you join our crew so you never miss one of our weekly keto cooking videos. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, to start with, in a large bowl, we're going to make our Cajun rub slash seasoning marinade. So, for that, we're adding 2 teaspoons of this brown swerve, brown sugar substitute, along with 1.5 teaspoons of regular paprika, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon chili powder, just chili con carne. And then I'm adding some of this cayenne pepper because I like a little bit of heat to mine, so I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon that. Definitely decrease that if you don't like heat. And then I'm just going to put some fresh ground black pepper in there, about 1/4 teaspoon. Getting a little whisk, we're just going to mix this together and try to break apart those brown swerve clumps, but don't worry about getting it perfect. We're going to be adding our raw chicken to this, and then we're also going to be adding a little oil that's going to help it break down and turn into more of a paste than a rub. After you've got that all nicely combined, just stick it to the side and we'll get started on our chicken. For that, I have a cutting board. I always put it on a towel to keep it from slipping around. And I'm putting 2 pretty large chicken breasts on it, and we're just going to slice horizontally. So the first one sliced perfectly in half because I did it from that little jacked up side. I don't know what the proper name is for that, but ta-da, perfectly in half. Now, watch what happens if you do it from the other side of your breast. Starts out smooth and then it gets really wonky on the other side, and you end up with really thin pieces of chicken breast. That works perfectly for me because I actually prefer thinner kind of pieces that are just cook up faster, and my husband likes the thicker pieces. So, but if you want it to be perfect, don't do what I just did. So then I'm just going to add those chicken breast halves to our bowl of our Cajun rub, and just making sure that each of them gets a little bit of that seasoning on them. And then I'm going to add some oil to this, as I said, to make it more of a paste. I'm choosing to use avocado oil. You could definitely use extra virgin olive oil. You could use coconut oil that was melted down if you preferred that. But I'm just adding about 1/2 tablespoon of avocado oil for now, and getting in there with my hands and making sure that our Cajun rub is, as I said, turning more into a paste and is evenly coated on all of our chicken breasts. And we're just going to do that for all of them. Ta-da. And then I'm opting to use an electric skillet. I will link this one in the description box down below. I love it. It's dishwasher safe. It's so good. And I have mine set on about 375. If you're cooking on a stovetop, you're working over medium-high heat. I added another tablespoon of avocado oil to my skillet. Again, use whichever type of cooking oil you prefer. And then I'm also adding a tablespoon of butter to this as well. And just using a spatula to kind of combine that and make sure it's all evenly coated and melted. And once it is, I'm going to go ahead and add my seasoned chicken breast to the skillet. And I'm going to be cooking the 2 thicker ones for about 7 minutes on each side, and the thinner ones I will only cook for about 5 minutes on each side. And I'm just putting them in there undisturbed. So after 5 minutes, I went ahead and flipped over the 2 that are thinner. And then we're going to let the thicker ones cook for a couple more minutes before flipping them over as well. And repeating that again, 5 minutes for the thin ones, 7 minutes for the thick ones. And then after the 5 minutes are up for the thin ones, we're removing those to a separate dish, letting the thicker ones continue cooking all the way through. You can use a meat thermometer if you like to make sure you get to an internal temperature of at least 165. Once you do, go ahead and remove those to your dish as well. At this point in time, I cut my skillet down to about between 300 and 325. If you're on the stovetop, you're going down to medium heat. Adding 3 tablespoons of butter to that, along with 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And I'm just going to stir this while it's cooking so our garlic doesn't burn for about 30 seconds. Also scraping those bits off of our skillet while we do this, and pouring in half a cup of chicken broth. And I always use reduced sodium broth just so I have more control over the salt in my meal. And we're going to continue scraping and cooking that and letting it reduce a little for about 2 minutes. And I opted to add my chicken back into my sauce. I just think it makes the chicken more tender and juicier that way, but you could totally just drizzle this over your chicken if you prefer that. So after I added my chicken back in, we're just gonna kind of stir it around in our skillet so it gets nice and coated with our sauce. Of course, flipping it over. And while I'm doing that and letting our chicken warm back up all the way through, I popped a steam bag of like the Kirkland's organic broccoli florets. I love them because they taste just like fresh broccoli. Popped those in the microwave for about 6 minutes. And that's going to be our side item for this. And then we will go ahead and plate it up. Super easy for a weeknight meal. You can throw this together for your family pretty quickly. And if you got somebody else coming over for dinner last minute, super easy to just add to this. Here it is plated up. Here's the broccoli on the side. I did drizzle a little of the sauce over the broccoli and topped it with some shredded Parmesan cheese because I just love cheese on everything. And here it is plated up. Super easy. Hope you enjoyed this quick keto weeknight meal, keto chicken recipe. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Comment down below any recipes you'd like to see us tackle. And until next time, bye y'all.